2, 1. Yo, what's up, everybody? I am Mark, and this is the part where you introduce yourself.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say this is Money Market Truth. Okay, cool.
My name is Mark, and this is
Mo. How's it going? Oh, fuck.
How about I introduce you then? All right.
No, I
right.
got it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? I am Mark, and this is
Mo. How's it going? Oh, fuck.
Much later.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Mark. I'm here with my friend Mo, and you're listening to Money Market Truths. This is our very first episode. I know, another freaking podcast talking about the stock market, but hopefully we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to be raw. We're going to be unadulterated. We're going to not hold back on any of the conversations that we have. We have two different perspectives. I have my own YouTube channel called Trading with a Dummy. Mo, tell me about your service that you offer.
So basically, I have a Discord. It's a little bit different than anything you've ever seen before. It's more like a mentorship program. So I actually spend one-on-one time with the people and actually teach them how to trade rather than just doing call-outs.
Yep. And we're going to have two different perspectives when we sit down every single week for 30 minutes and have a conversation about some of the things that we've seen within the business, within the industry, what we see in regards to the stock market and et cetera. But I just want to get started real quick. I want to talk about Twitter real fast before we get into our subject of the day, because I owned Twitter shares, right? I bought it when it initially completely collapsed during earnings, and it did nothing fundamentally, right? If you look at the fundamentals, it's just it doesn't really offer anything. I think it was waiting for the merger with, I think it was Time Warner. I think they had like a merger. They had something with some sort of service, as well as them adopting the whole Clubhouse method where you can go in there and talk and chat and everything. So I thought the stock was going to move up, and it did absolutely nothing for months. And then we had the pullback, and of course, it got hit as well, and it dropped down. And I sold out of all of my shares because my goal was to try to get to 100. I didn't get quite there, but I almost did. And then the son of a bitch, Elon Musk, buys shares into it, and it fucking skyrockets. And I'm so irritated because I know right now this is like, it's hype. But yo, Elon Musk, is he not the number one market manipulator? I swear, like he could put a picture of his dog and Dogecoin would take off.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
He's got a cult following, and I'm telling you that right now, this is not a pump. This is,
you don't think so?
Twitter. No, it's not. This is, dude. Twitter is not Twitter anymore. You just changed the entire dynamic of a stock by inviting a cult leader into. So he's got 9.1%, and he's got a seat on the board. This is not a passive way of managing a company. He will be active.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the fundamentals don't change, right? How are they gonna increase their revenue? Yes, everyone's dumping money into it right now. Because hell, like the other day, I was like, shit, should I buy back into Twitter? But I feel like the minute the first earnings comes out, it's gonna just completely collapse again and go right back down to the 30s.
So let me ask you something. Think like a consumer. Even when you were not trading, do you feel in comparison, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where do you get the most value out of?
Well, I'm always on Instagram. I'm so Twitter ignorant, so I'm like the wrong person to ask. Okay. If you ask me,
okay.
I don't.
Well, let me put this a different way. Let's say you own shares of Facebook, and you just found out that Elon Musk is basically actively involved in Twitter, and one of the biggest flaws of Twitter, actually there's two. One is they say that they control the speech and the information that comes out. And then the second is Twitter is not being monetized properly. If you had to find one person who could fix both, who would it be? And that person is now actively involved. So I think what's going to happen to Twitter is what happened to AMD when Intel had that earning call.
The one that ended up pumping it up from, what was it, like the 50s or something, and then it started moving up from there.
So I don't know if you know this, Truth Social, ticker symbol DWAC. After the news came out about Elon, another news came out saying that Trump is actually looking for a different company. So he's pulling out of DWAC. which is why Block
Damn.
shares are down to, I think, $40. They're down 40%, I think, today, between today and yesterday. So yeah, so it's not a pump.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's just the same thing with Dwack, though, right? The Truth Network, by the way, as I'm on there, it absolutely sucks. But when they first announced it, right, the whole thing was, oh, Donald Trump. So the stock skyrocketed, right? And I feel like that could potentially be the exact same thing with Elon right now. It will skyrocket maybe to $70, $75. But I really think once the earnings come in and they figure out that they can't really monetize properly, because I mean, think about it, dude. It's been, how long has Twitter been out? I don't know, 20 years maybe. I don't know how long is it. I just started
It's
using
been
it.
out for a while, but that's their advantage. They have the network, right? The hard part's fixed. The monetary part, Elon knows how to fix. And again, he brings his cult following with it, right? So you could see a lot of money leaking from Tesla into Twitter as well, because people might be like, okay, this is oversold. Let us. So no, tomorrow if Elon's like, I'm getting out, the company again
It's
can
dead.
drop. But if Elon stays in, then I think the company has a bright future.
Man, yeah, because I'm going back and forth if I want to even buy in again, because I feel like I missed the fucking bottom, and it makes me so mad that I held it so long. Like, and I don't usually sell my shares in stocks because I was in my Roth. I don't ever usually sell, but I sold Twitter and I sold Affirm for a loss. That's my first two that I like for real took like an L on when it comes to like in my Roth, and they both fucking skyrocketed days later. Affirm is down though, I think again, but Twitter is just it's shocking. And I had a contract for it too on 2023 for $50, which pisses me off because it's above $50.
I think investors should stay away from Twitter, like using Twitter, because fuck Twitter, man. We get one green day, we're bullish. We get 2 red days, markets crash. So like as an investor, it shakes your trust over the stock, but it's just like a lot of noise on Twitter. Like that's why I say, like, if you want to ask my opinion, I'll give it to you as a trader. As an investor, I don't like to give an opinion because shit like this happens, right?
Yeah,
Companies get bought, company gets sold, so it's really hard to predict what's going to happen. If you read the book by Ray Dalio, he talks about how do you diversify your portfolio, and that's not a sure way, but that's a much more certain way of staying balanced, because anything can go to zero, and that's how you expect that, and you say, hey, if this thing goes to zero, there's 10 other plays that I have, they can go 10x, and that's going to cover, and that's why you hold. That's kind of the investor's mindset.
Yeah, and that's why I'm initially investor mindset first. I know that kind of got my way for a couple months when I was trying to learn how to trade.
Right,
I remember you and I we had that conversation multiple times. It's been rough though for me the past week. I don't know what the fuck's going on in futures though. I've been killing it, but options, I don't know. Anyways, let's go into today's subject. Today's subject is on why people should not trade. Correct?
Yeah.
Why they should not trade. So give me your thoughts on the reason why you think people should not trade, because this is one thing I want people to be completely aware about, which your OTB Clubhouse. So your mentorship program, we spoke about that. You are the only one that I know that has a membership for the mentorship program that's on a monthly basis, and you bring people in. You have a cap of, what is it, 50 people or so or less?
It's 60 right now, yeah, but there's a cap. So like the whole idea behind this is that you could do a call out service, you could do basically coaching off of 4,000, 5,000 people, but no one's really learning anything. And the whole point of me doing this one-on-one is to avoid any gamblers. And one of my biggest learning has been that it really depends what kind of room you have, physical room, or like a virtual room, or even a Discord. If you've got a bunch of gamblers and new people join those kind of Discords, for them, that's the way of trading because that's all they've seen. So I'm very high on moderating the group, and the easy part is just pick the kind of people you want in. And the reason why you and me pick that topic is because no one talks about it, right? You put any Instagram post, YouTube ad, it's about why you should get into trading. No one's really talking about why you shouldn't trade. And the reason is because it impacts their bag, right? Because it's subscriptions, it's courses. But at the end of the day, like, do you really want this on your conscience where you're bringing people that have no clue how to trade and you get in and they're essentially either investors or they're not in the right mindset, and then they get in and they basically end up losing all their money, which is what I've seen happen multiple times.
Yeah, and because of that, I think that's the reason why you do like the one-on-one interview before you even accept anyone into the mentorship program, right?
Well, yeah, like think about last time when you lost money in trading. I know last time when I lost money, it was because I had the wrong mindset. And some people come in with that mindset, and that's the last thing you want to do. Because like if you're desperate and you want to make 4 or 5x, and that's what most of these marketing companies target, right? They're not telling you, hey, we're going to teach you how to follow an execution plan, which is the method. They're telling you how you're going to make 5 or 10x off your investment, which is the end result, right? By showing you the end result, you're basically following money. And one of the biggest things I talk about is if you always follow the money, it's going to promote the wrong behavior, which is, lottoing, Friday lottos, basically going crazy without a good risk reward just to make a lot of money, which might reward a lot of new traders, or you might get lucky, but eventually the luck runs out and you're going to end up giving all your profits or all your investment.
Yeah, and there's another thing I want people to kind of realize, and I've come across this quite a bit. Again, I go from group to group to group to review them and stuff, and majority of groups I go through, I definitely find some value in there. But there are a lot of people who strike me sometimes as like a last resort, right? They lost their jobs during, COVID, or they realize they're unhappy at work or whatever circumstance it is, and then they get inundated with all these ads and people saying, yo, I made 1,000% today. I made 500% today. You can too. You can take this $200 and turn it into $2 million. And people end up falling for it. And I know my channel, sometimes some people think that like I'm hating or I'm a troll or whatever on my channel, which further from that. But I try to make people aware that you shouldn't be taking your last bit of money and invest it into these groups, because a lot of times, like you mentioned, you're paying for that person's mansion and house and cars and all this other stuff because they have a huge following, 4,000 or 5,000 people paying, I don't know, $50 a month or $80 a month. I mean, that adds up. They're making 6 figures in a month, and they may not actually be trading themselves. So I remember when I first met you, I wasn't sure. I mean, like I told you first met, your Instagram struck me as a Indian scammer.
Yeah.
So, and then I got to know you and stuff, and I actually sat next to you and I saw you trade, and you're the real deal. But most people don't get that opportunity, right? So you have to be careful. What do you recommend people do first before even thinking about trading? Like what steps do you think they should take before they even get into that space?
Well, first ask yourself why you want to trade, right? And I think trading is the best way to create capital, right? Mm-hmm. When you're investing, you're basically getting your money to work for you. When you're trading, you're working actively to make that money, and then later on, that money can work for you. That's kind of the whole idea. And so the idea should be you're trying to learn a process. If you are in the mindset that you're going to double or triple your money, that's when you have to ask yourself, why do you have that mindset? Is it because an ad you saw, or is it because there's a certain expense that you're trying to pay? Or if it's because there's a certain trigger that you're trying to resolve. And then if those two situations are happening, it's better to just step off and rethink on how you want to enter trading.
You think maybe like saving that money up, maybe like just slowly compounding your money from your job and maybe investing in real estate might be a better solution than trying to become a trader?
In my opinion, man, I was talking to a bunch of realtors and they are like, so I'm in Vancouver and they're saying the amount of stuff involved in flipping properties right now, and there's not much margin. And with what's happening with the interest rate, they're actually also flipping stocks. What I'm trying to say is, you can get into trading, but the red flags for you getting into trading is if the money that you're trading with is the money that you need, then don't trade. If the mindset isn't right, meaning if you're kind of feeling reckless and you're feeling like you're going to put all your money, because I get those DMs where, hey, I got I think it's the SBA loan that you guys have there. Is it called
Oh
SME?
yeah. We got that.
Yeah.
You talking about the
So
small
So
business
yeah,
loans?
someone messaged me. They're like, "Yo, I got 20K. I'm gonna get into your Discord and copy paste your trades. You think how fast could I get to 100K?" And usually there's a reason why they came up with that amount. They're getting married, they're buying a house, and that's the goal. The thing is, when you focus on the end result and not on the process, you get lost somewhere in the way and you end up giving back everything. I only know this because I've done all the mistakes that we're talking about today. That's why I got into trading, is because I lost my job, and with COVID lost a lot of money in my business. So I was like, okay, this could be one way out. A lot of people that hate their jobs get into trading. There's nothing wrong with that, but you just need to check yourself and say, do I have a backup, as in, like, am I getting regular money supply from a job, or do I have savings? Because a lot of people say, I want to quit my job and do this. The problem is, when you quit your job and do this, an extra added pressure comes, which means I need to make money daily or weekly. And sometimes when market can go in lull period, it could go for months. We haven't seen that in the last 2 years, but we've seen an entire month where it's chop. And that's where most people give up all their gains because they can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah, no. It's been like that. Like today, for example, I probably should have stopped trading today. I had two losses in two positions that I got in. Like I said, I killed it on futures though, but the market is choppy, and sometimes I think you get in that desperation mode where it's like, I need to make money today.
Yeah.
Or I need to win. And there's a little bit of a gambling mentality as well. Like you were saying, the lottos. I've been in some groups, which I haven't reviewed, where it's just nothing but lottos, right? I mean, you've
Yeah.
been in it too as well. You've experienced it, right? Do you think it's important though, if you decide that you want to get into trading, that you join a group or like a community, or do you think it's just better maybe just read books, stay on your own, do your own research, take your own notes, and just keep all that extra noise away? Because I have seen where sometimes I've done it myself, where I have a certain sentiment on a position, and then I want to see what everyone else thinks about it. And if they say, "Nah, I don't think it's good," I will not take that trade, even though I did the research and I'm pretty confident on it. I allow someone else's opinion to trump mine, and then it ends up actually going in favor, like I initially
Yeah.
thought.
I think it's important to operate in a community, and the community could be you and your friends trading. It doesn't have to be a paid Discord. It could be a bunch of people coming together for a common cause. The reason why it's important is because when you work a job, you work a certain amount of hours and you get paid. When you work a business, sell a certain amount of products or service and get paid. Trading is one of those things where you put in a lot of time and effort at first, and there's a high chance you might lose, especially in option. And when that happens, and when you're going through that stage, no one really understands what's going on. Like, you can't have that conversation with your husband or wife or brother or sister, because they're gonna think you're nuts. If you tell them, yo, I've been working for 60 hours straight this week learning technical analysis, and you're down 500 for the week. So I think you need people that have either gone through the process or they're somewhere along the way, and it helps with your mental capital, because you're like, okay, I'm the right page. This actually happens. The problem, what's happening right now, is every single group is winning. Every single person on Twitter is winning. So you're like, shit, like, am I the only person losing here? And they're not winning by compounding their money by 10%. There's people that are winning 1,000% every single day. Like, their play goes 1,000%. They went from 2K to 20K, 20K to 200K. So when you compare your 10% with that, you're like, fuck, I'm not doing anything. So you want to over leverage. So you want to make sure that you're in the right community. And again, I want to make sure this comes out right. It doesn't have to be a paid community. It just has to be a community where like-minded people are coming for a common cause, which is growing your investment or growing your knowledge.
Yeah. Did you spill your drink?
No,
Did you just
no,
spill your drink?
a little bit, yeah.
You're drinking at 5 o'clock in the morning over there. I don't know what time it is. Like 12 or something your time. I don't even know. You get
Yeah,
up
I'm
way
in
too early.
stocks, right?
Yeah, man. So I've been reading this really good book. And I would love to hear your thoughts on some books that you recommend for the mindset, because I've been told that I'm actually a pretty good trader. I just get in my way consistently, and I know that. Even my wife sees it. She's like, I could take paper money and I could fucking kill it, but when I use my real money, it's another story. And I feel like it's kind of like the gym, right? They say that you can go to the gym and you can work out like crazy 2 times a day, but if you eat like shit, you're not going to put on muscles. So
Yeah.
would you say that when it comes to like the trading game, that 80% of it is really mindset and probably 20% is just the skill of trading?
Yeah, it's in the mindset. It's broken into two things: emotions and the why. Emotions meaning like the emotions attached to money. If you're scared to lose, you shouldn't play, in my opinion. And this sounds harsh, but like when I get into a trade, I don't think how much I will make if it works. I think about how much I will lose if it doesn't, because there's a predefined risk, which no one likes to talk about. Have you ever seen a call out that says, "Hey guys, I'm getting into Apple, blah blah blah. If I'm wrong, you're gonna lose this much"? Never. Hey guys, I'm getting into Apple. If it gets to this much, we're gonna make 1,000%. And they give you the best case scenario, and so that takes away the fear of it going down. And then when it actually does go down, which happens 90% of the cases, before it goes up, you're like, shit, I didn't expect it. And then you hold it to zero. So that's emotions with money. And then the second is the why, which is what's the purpose of you doing what you're doing? And the micro part is, why did you get into the trade? Right? Because a lot of people get out of the trade. You're like, yo, did you get out of the trade because you followed your plan, or did you get out of trade because you got scared? Usually people get out because they got scared. And then the macro part is, why are you doing this? Like, what do you need the money for? And if it's instant gratification, if you're if you're solving a burning fire right now, people get aggressive and reckless. So that's a wrong reason. If you're planning for something for the future, you're a little bit more patient and disciplined. All this shit adds up, man. And I'm telling you, someone who knows 10% of what I know can do better than me because they have a better mindset than me. So a lot of people focus on technical and all that, which is important, but like psychological and what mind frame you're in and what's your why is way more important.
Okay. What are your favorite books for like the mindset?
The one that I loved and I've read it around 15 times is Trading in the Zone.
By Mark Douglas. Yep.
Yeah, and then the second one is Market Wizard. I think people need to read Market Wizard because it tells you what successful traders sound like and how they behave and how they act. If you think someone on Twitter who doesn't have a picture and has a fake name is telling you the truth, or that is the definition of a successful trader, then you're following the wrong leader. Like, there's interviews from people that are managing 500 million a year, and then you see them speak and they talk about all the things they've done wrong, and you're like, oh shit, they don't think like a rock star either. They don't talk like a third person, or they don't think they're the GOAT. Okay, cool. Like, that's who you want to listen to, not someone on Twitter that's telling you that he made seven or she made $7 million. Like, it's a different kind of world we live in, where social media is basically putting a lot of impression on money and a certain lifestyle, which a lot of people get attracted to.
Yeah. Speaking, you mentioned the whole GOAT thing. This is one of my biggest pet peeves, and I'm thinking about making a fucking video about it on my channel. Again, shameless plug, Trading with a Dummy on YouTube. It's people. I see it all the time in the comments. They're like, "Yo, you the GOAT. You the greatest. You this. You that." And sometimes I look at them and I'm like, "You've never even seen this guy's P&L or portfolio. Like, how can you call him a GOAT?" That's like me saying, "Hey, man, I was a bomb ass basketball player. Like 3-pointers, no problem. 90% win rate when I would shoot, right?" And people would start calling me GOAT, but you never actually see me play. So how do you know I am the GOAT? And that shit drives me fucking nuts, because I see that all over Twitter. I see that all over Instagram. I think people need to stop using that damn word, the GOAT. Okay. It's just a person. It's just a person who has a skill that may be a little bit better than yours, but you can get to that same level. This isn't like some sort of skill that's like hard to achieve. Do you tell your plumber, if you have like the best plumber in the world, are you like, "Bro, you're the GOAT when it comes to plumbing"? No, it's like it's so stupid, and it drives me nuts. You keep that stuff for sports. All right, sports, that shit makes sense. Call people a GOAT because that's actually like a real true competition. When it comes to investing, it's a fucking roller coaster. It's up, down, up, down. You can have 11 months of bad trades, lose $60,000, have one good trade, make $70,000, post that, and everyone will call you the fucking GOAT. But in reality, you had 11 months of terrible trading. You had one good month, and you made a total of $10,000. Congratulations. It doesn't make you a GOAT. It doesn't even make you consistent. That's the thing. Like a lot of people I've been really working on is with consistency, and that's hard in trading because, like you said, you can do a lotto and you could fucking win 500%. No big deal. But can you do that consistently? Can you replicate that over and over and over? And that's, I think, the bigger skill is replicating your style or your strategy and stuff like that. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, like with trading, like you talked about lottos, there's a 50% chance you be correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times people get lucky, and that luck rewards you, and that money rewards that behavior. You didn't learn shit, right? You didn't learn shit, but you made a bunch of money. So you think you made this money by following this process, which is not a process, it's gambling. So you try to repeat it multiple times, and then you end up losing everything because it was the wrong strategy to start with. So that's why I and my mentor have, or even the books that you read, they will tell you, follow the execution. Don't worry about the money. If you lost money on a proper execution, that's almost better than making money on the wrong execution, because that will down the road lead you to big losses.
I 100% agree, and I would say too, like I usually don't get mad if I have a loss and my setup was right, my strategy was right, I stuck to the script, I followed all my rules, and it went against me. Cool. I get pissed off when I break all my rules and it goes against me. That's my biggest pet peeve. We're running out of time here, but let me give you guys my book that I recommend. I just bought it. It's also by Mark Douglas. Everyone always talks about trading in his zone and market wizards. I will put a link below because I think I have them on PDF. So if you're watching this on YouTube, check the description. I'm going to try to put the link there so you guys can download it for free. It's not mine for copyright reasons. It's not mine. It's just something I found online. So, but mine, the one that I like, and I just bought it recently off of eBay. You can buy it on Amazon for $40. Kind of expensive, but if you can find it on eBay, it was pretty cheap. It's called The Disciplined Trader: Developing a Winning Attitude, and that's huge because I know you and I know, like I'm always down on myself. I'm really hard on myself a lot of times, and I'm trying to have a better attitude. But that book captured my attention within page one. And guess who was by? Mark Douglas as well. And it's before, this was written before, I think, Trading in the Zone. Because Trading in the Zone was like in what, late mid 2000s, I think. This one was in early 1990s. So the book's a little hard to get, but like I said, if you go on eBay, you could probably buy it. I'm going to see if I have a PDF form of it as well, and I'll put it in the description as well. But yeah, Mo, do you have any closing statements at all?
Nothing. I would just say we would love your feedback. It's our first podcast, so anything that you would want us to talk about or any feedback about this podcast, please let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is our very first one. We're going to do this on a weekly basis. We're going to talk about various different topics, especially ones that are not spoken about a lot, especially like mindset and stuff like that. But we're not holding anything back. Again, my name is Mark. You can catch me on YouTube at Trading with a Dummy or on Instagram, Trading with a Dummy. Mo, where can they catch you at?
You can follow me on Instagram on OTB Clubhouse, or you can check out my website, motrading.com.
All right. Appreciate it, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Peace out. All right, Mo, how was that?
It was good, man. It was good.
Better?
Yeah, it was better. My son